All right, Google Hangout says we're live. Welcome, everybody. We're back at you. MMA Advocates, episode 35. I'm Dave Rodriguez. I'm your interim host for the time being. Everything is interim these days, so I'll take that interim role and apply it here as joined by my man Fred Kirby out of Dayton, Ohio. How you doing, man?
Fan-fucking-tastic, brother. Fantastic. It looks like it's a two-man show since fucking Jesus is on vacation and Eddie's running late from BJJ.
Oh, oh yeah, we'll be joined by Mr. Eddie Law here momentarily. Jesse on vacay in San Diego, so do your thing, brother. We will catch up with you next week. And always, like I always tell Eddie, Fred, every Wednesday there's always some news. There's always stuff breaking. And here we are, just moments before we went live. And like before we went live, we were talking about Luke Rockhold, talking about moving to heavyweight, Fred. So this is news to you, man. It came out on UFC Tonight 10 minutes ago. Old Luke Rockhold looking to move to heavyweight and not just challenge some shitbird or somebody just right out the bat. He's going for Mr. Fabricio Verdum. Your thoughts on that, Kirby?
At first, when you first told me, man, I was just kind of like, but right before we went online, I was like, do you think we could use like the Twilight Zone's music to like randomly pop in during the episode? Because I have no idea what's going on anymore in the UFC. From the fight bookings, George St. Pierre's coming back. He gets a fucking immediate title shot at the weight division above where he's at. Where we're in a parallel universe where fucking cockeyed Michael Bisping is the goddamn champion at middleweight. Everything seems completely off balance. So when you first said that, my original thought was, yeah, fucking right. But I tell you what, with everything being the way it is, I don't put it past them for a fucking bit. There is some legitimate heat there. You can go back. We know those fucking dudes have been kind of chirping at each other for quite a while now. But I don't know, man. Luke's a big middleweight, but what the fuck? He's going to jump to heavyweight and fight. What is Fabricio like? Ranked number 2 or 3?
Exactly.
He's fucking really highly ranked. First off, Luke don't deserve that fight as far as it goes. I mean, it just seems like motherfuckers feel like they're going to do whatever they want these days. I don't know how he really just skips, the Derek Lewises of the world and goes straight to fighting fucking Fabricio Verdum from middleweight. Slightly admirable that he wants to try, but definitely left field as fuck. Like, you said that, and I was like, what? Heavyweight? I swear I thought you was joking low-key at first, but, I mean, I guess I can see it. I just don't. There's a plethora of contenders at 85. 85's hot. I don't, I understand that he, there's a little personal feud there, but other than that, it's not like it's no fucking money Mayweather Conor McGregor, dog. It's not some huge money fight. Yeah. I don't really get it. It's weird.
Oh yeah, totally, man. Like it's just the current state of MMA. Where we ventured into the unknown, I guess you could say it. Many different things have happened where you can, that point could be valid. Where now, I mean, guys that want to jump to different weight classes become multiple world champion in different weight classes. So Luke seems to he's trying to pursue that path as he was, previously the 185 king, but skipping 205 and just going straight to heavyweight. So and not necessarily, calling out a shitbird. He's calling out, the former heavyweight champion.
So that's a good point too, though. Did he make it seem like he wanted to pursue shit at heavyweight, or just wanted to kick Fabricio Verdum's ass? Like, was it a personal thing, or did he make it seem like he was trying to make heavyweight an eventual home in some way?
Yeah, I think very possible. And then when we're talking about heavyweight, I mean, it draws the idea now where the UFC sort of has an idea. I think what they want to do with Francis Ngannou. Verdum, I think in a recent interview said that, he just needs to fight. Like, he wants to fight. He's not getting any younger. You know what I'm saying? All his fights drop out. I mean, he had the fight drop out recently with what's his name, Rothwell. So he just continues to have these bouts where they keep dropping, and he's anxious to fight, anxious to get back in there. So very interesting and sort of like totally out of left field, totally out of fucking outer space for that to be like something that's actually going to happen. But I guess, like you said, motherfuckers are just going to do whatever they want to do, it seems, at this point.
Okay. 2 questions before we let go of this topic. A, do you think it actually fucking happens? And B, do you have any interest in actually watching this fucking fight?
I think it does happen just based on just everything, I mean, we got BJ Penn scheduled to fight here. We'll get to that next. So I think this indeed does have, you know what I mean? There could be a potential matchup in the near future, of course, because like I said, Fabricio's got to have a fight. He's looking to get into a fight. And if it's against Luke Rockhold, nobody could have predicted that shit. But I am interested. I'd love to see it. It's just strange how he's just going to jump from, you know what I mean, 185 going all the way up to heavyweight. So Luke Rockhold's a big guy, though, man. But it kind of makes me wonder as a hardcore where this going to be a continued trend where maybe we see John Jones come back at heavyweight. We know Jimi Manuwa is trying to, you know, stake his claim as like the next man up with the light heavyweight title being defended in a couple weeks. So it seems that this could be a possible trend. And I'm very interested as a hardcore fan, but super strange matchmaking. But that's the current state of the UFC. We are in the fucking unknown part of space right now. So yeah, this pretty much lays the groundwork here for the summertime shows that they decide to do. Like I mentioned, BJ Penn booked to fight Dennis Seaver. It's going to take place June 25th. It's a Oklahoma City card. They've added a couple other bouts as well on the card. But your thoughts on BJ Penn? I mean, you said he thought he's done. Here he is back in this Dennis Seaver fight that they just want to have BJ Penn fight Dennis Seaver one way or another. So it's booked once again. And what's your thoughts on that one, Kirby?
What the fuck, man? I don't know, man. BJ's probably my favorite fighter of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the one, like definitely one of my favorite fighters, bar none. And one of the few guys, I try not to be like too partial to guys because I don't want to get pissed off when somebody wins or loses. You know, I try not to fucking really hitch my fucking saddle to anybody in no major way. But I've always really liked BJ and really been kind of bummed when he loses. Including this last time against Yair. Now I realized that I don't know. On one hand, I just want to see BJ go on. You know, he is the phenom. I was talking to somebody today that didn't know much about BJJ, a female friend of mine who's about to start taking it. Her brother takes it, and she was talking about like how, like, you know, blown away she was by. They went to the Pans out in what is it, California? That they do the Pans in?
Correct. Yeah.
So, you know, and just talking about how long it takes to get a black belt and how influential the lifestyle is. BJ having done it in 4 years, I mean, this guy is something special. You know what I'm saying? The Prodigy, a nickname well earned from a guy who fucking deserves that shit. I kind of don't want to see the fucking guy tarnish his goddamn legacy no more, man. Now, all that being said, what the fuck, right? Little Arnold Schwarzenegger, little German prick. Fuck it, man. If we're in a situation where we're just like, listen, BJ, you're getting a fucking win. We're gonna fucking march you out there till eventually we find the right little prick that you can throw a beat in. Then fuck it. I guess Dennis Seaver seems a bit more like a fair match, I guess. So I don't know, man. It's one of those things. I'd like to see BJ get a win and then ride off into the sunset for sure. But it'd be really fucking sad to see him get thunderstruck by fucking Dennis Seaver, you know? So I don't know, man. I kind of ain't that stoked about it, but fuck, I feel like Dennis Seaver should at least be a slightly winnable fight.
Yeah. No, and I think part of the reason why it is a winnable fight too for BJ Fred is where has Dennis Seaver been? I mean, they basically just dusted him off and said, all right, the German tank is fucking going in there against the legend. And this was a previously fight that was booked before. So I just think that the potential for BJ winning it, I mean, he didn't really get a whole lot of time in that fight against Yair to kind of, you know, showcase his skills and what he's been doing and been training hard, because it's not like he's been, you know, fucking around. He's been training with Perillo, been out here in Albuquerque with Jackson. So he wants to get in there and wants to do it. And I think he wants to go out on a win, but it could lead to, you know, maybe some other fights after this. Say he's impressive in there, but where the fuck has Dennis Seaver been? And here he is now booked for BJ. So I think this is something where the UFC does want to see BJ in a big time fight. It's probably going to be the headliner, as far as I know. I think it is the headliner as of right now, unless they stack it up. But also on the card, they did book Johnny Hendricks versus Tim Boach. We talked a little bit about that before we went live. So I think indeed, personally, as a hardcore fan, it's a necessary booking for Johnny Hendricks, because at 185, he's trying to make this his new home. Tim Boach, pretty big fucking cat at that weight class. it'll be a pretty tough test for Johnny Hendricks, and pretty close to home too, as well as Dallas is not far from Oklahoma City. So, but man, back to BJ though, man, just the timing of it. I mean, we thought we'd seen the last of him, but it's really it's a fight geared to see BJ get a win. Ultimately, though, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that, right? Like, it felt like after what happened with Yair, it was like, okay, it's enough with making fucking BJ Penn look bad. But I mean, if they're going to book him again, like I said, at least it feels like they found somebody that he should be competitive with. And at least this should be the nail in the coffin, Jack. God damn it, BJ. You either come back and thunderstrike fucking Dennis Seaver, or if shit don't go your way, that is fucking the fuck. If you get beat by Dennis Seaver, we ain't going no lower. And quite frankly, I think you're right. I think they probably know little Dennis Seaver's been somewhere fucking drinking fucking beer and eating brats.
Yeah.
And they're probably like, yeah, we'll pay you a little bit of money to come take that beating from BJ. There he is. Fucking Kelvin Gastelum's stunt double.
What's up, motherfuckers?
Holy
shit.
What are you fucking taking TRT?
Hell no. This is all natural, baby. What's up?
Nah.
This is gonna set the beating on motherfuckers in a couple weeks if I'm able to fucking compete. Nah, this is all Chipotle and lifting heavy. Nah, I'm messing with you. What's up, fellas?
How you doing, Ed? We're talking about recent the news. We started off kind of like in a reverse topic role where we're touching on some fight bookings. You heard about UFC OKC, BJ Penn versus Dennis Seaver. Johnny
that fucking goddamn derailed train already. Son of a bitch.
So let us know what your thoughts are on UFC OKC, as BJ's pretty much it's slated as the main event as of right now, Penn versus Seaver. So yep.
Wow, BJ Penn against Dennis Seaver is the main event of anything? I mean, think of it this way though. Like, okay, first of all, shout out to Don, our boy Don. If you guys remember, Don was used to be on the shows all the time. He's excited as fuck to go to that because he wants, he's a big BJ Penn guy too. But I mean, come the fuck on, right? BJ Penn. What else do we need to see? Dennis Seaver hits hard now. Everyone's like, oh, it's Dennis Seaver. Dennis Seaver is not going to beat anybody. Sure, this should be a softball for good old BJ Penn, right? But BJ Penn looked like total dog shit in the last fight. Now, mind you, he was fighting Yair, but his offense wasn't that great. When I was sitting in the stands watching this shit, hoping he was going to pull something off. But
did he, Eddie? Did he actually land a strike in that fight against Yair?
No, and it was literally I was talking like no, BJ. I was talking just like that in the fucking stands, fucking going, god damn it, just tap, dude, tap where you get jacked, and then he got jacked. But look, he's got a shot against the receiver, right? You kind of, what do you want from this guy? You want him to win. You want him to go out and win, okay? And first of all, you hope if he wins that he actually goes out. This fucker he'd be fucking crazy enough that if he finishes this fight somehow, he'd be like, oh, I can still fight. I keep going. Give me another fucking Yair. And then he gets murdered again. You don't want that. You don't want to fucking, destroy his legacy that way. So, look, am I happy it's going down? No. Are we just going to deal with it? Just deal with it at this point. But I'm not even convinced he even makes it to that fight. He's pulled out of fights due to injury before, and he's no spring chicken.
There you go. Yep. That's why, who knows? They could have Clay Guida step in at the last minute to fight Penn or Seaver. Who knows? Who knows if it actually does happen? So,
did you guys talk about good old Luke Rockhold?
Yep, that was the other thing we discussed. Him going to heavyweight.
First of all, please do it. Just make this fight. Because, look, it's win-win for us, right? Either Verdun gets starched with a 185 with a big mouth, okay? Or Luke Rockhold is knocked the fuck out.
Are you fucking delusional? What part of our fucking third-ranked heavyweight getting starched by a middleweight is quote-unquote good?
No.
Heavyweight division that's already thin look like dog shit. What the fuck?
Let me clear up my point here. All right, I am the least. I'm the furthest of a Verdun fan ever, so it'd be good for me. At least. Okay, I can't stand Verdun. Personally, it'd be good for me. But you're right. We don't need the one of the former heavyweight champions, probably one of the best heavyweights ever, getting starched by a fucking Bisping being knocked out. A Bisping being fucking starched. Luke Rockhold, what were you saying?
Do you think they'll actually? I just asked Dave this question before you got on, Eddie. Do you think they'll actually fucking do it?
No.
For Luke to say he wants it. Do you think they make this fight? Can they make this fight? Will the Derek Lewises of the world not lose their fucking mind? Like, hey, man. But then they did it with GSP. Now, Luke Rockhold is no fucking Georges, though. You dig what I'm saying? He ain't just gonna be fucking jumping the line. But I don't know. Who the fuck knows? I tell you what, I think if they get enough heat behind it, and I think that's what Luke's doing. I think Luke is fucking throwing out a lure here to see what happens. And if everybody jumps on this, he can apply a little heat to the UFC. But if we all don't jump on this, the UFC's probably gonna be like, nah, bro, you're fighting Jacare.
You hit it right on the head, though, right? Fucking, is there no if there's gonna be enough heat behind it to actually make it happen? Now, do I think it happens? No. Fucking Sean Shelby's gonna be like, okay, shut up, Luke. Shut the fuck up. Just go bang Demi Lovato or her friend or something, and you know, and chill the fuck out and get healthy, okay? You're dumbass. But he's trying to get heat behind it. But you know who else is trying to do that shit? And none of us are even talking about it or will even give a shit. Lauren Murphy and Jessica I are beefing on Twitter. Do you give a fuck?
Still.
Exactly. Nobody gives a shit. Okay. Luke can say all he wants to. Now I don't know what Verdum said on Dushwani's show to make Luke so to make Luke so pissed off. Did you guys hear that shit? Did you hear what he said? Anybody?
Yeah, it might have to. It's from that show. Yeah. And
what did he say? What did he say though?
I'm not quite sure.
Oh, okay.
I just know it stems from that show. But I was telling Fred that Fabricio is pissed right now. Like, he just wants a fight. He wants any type of fight, and that leads to like the heavyweight scenario with Kane. We don't know what the fuck Kane's got going. Like I mentioned before, the UFC has plans to put Francis Ngannou against the winner of JDS Stipe. That's what the plan is. And Derek Lewis and that fight that got booked with Mark Hunt, which we're going to get to, that totally like lines everything up for Ngannou to actually become the next guy to challenge for the title. So great. We got Fabricio an opponent to let him fight Luke, and let the heavyweights sort that shit out, because Ngannou's getting his shot over the summertime, promise you.
Well, can we agree that more than likely Verdum starts his Rockhold? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
More than likely. I'm saying, look, anything can happen. And Luke is a big, middleweight. At best, he should be a 205er, but he's a big middleweight, right? But even then, I think let's just assume that Verdum's going to start him, right? What does Verdum have to gain? I mean, he gets a paycheck and he stays active-ish. That's about it. You know what I mean? For Verdum, my opinion, the only way to go is the Kane rematch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
That's on pure.
You know, man, these guys got to stop getting injured so much.
That's the problem.
I give pretty much zero fucks about a Kane rematch. And I remember when that fight used to excite the shit out of me. But it's been so goddamn long. Francis Ngannou wasn't even a thing when those guys, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he had a fight or something, but it just, the landscape of the whole sport and even divisions changed so much that, don't get me wrong, I would still like that fight. But at this point, that fight seems so less intriguing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kane's coming off the injury, had the loss, and Verdum's fucking got knocked out, and it's been so long since either one of them fought. But in this new age UFC, man, I can see them going with the Rockhold fight. Like, fuck it. If you guys want to fight each other, there'll be some genuine heat there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Verdum will take that fight. If they offer the fight to Verdum, he's taking that shit. Okay. And Rockhold might be like, oh, fuck, I didn't mean that. Or he'll get crazy and try to fight.
Why wouldn't you? Rockhold's got nothing to lose. I mean, fuck, like I said, he's a big motherfucking middleweight. And I tell you what, it probably, like you said, I would assume that Verdum wins that fight, but I wouldn't imagine striking with Luke for too long is smart.
No.
He's a huge man, and no matter how big you are, if he fucking kicks you upside your dome piece or lands a square one on your chin, I mean, anything can happen in a fight, man, and he was the champion. And to be quite frank with you, I still think that he's probably the best middleweight, in the world.
I'd agree.
I think Michael Bisping got lucky. I think if Luke Rockhold is focused and ready and healthy, all jokes aside, I think he beats Bisping 9 out of 10 times. I mean, he beat a fully ready Jacare a few years ago, nonetheless. But fucking when Luke Rockhold's on, he's no fucking joke. Luke
Rockhold lost his title because he's a fucking asshole. All right, because he went in there. He went in there. You saw him, right? He went in the cage like, this is such a waste of my time. He did this whole like, I guess I have to go to school type of fucking bullshit. And then he got knocked out, and then he's like, then he fucking threw a fit, right? It's like, no, you're a fucking asshole. You deserve to lose that shit because you're an asshole. That's what happened. I agree with you 100% though. Yeah. Best middleweight, my opinion, in the UFC right now. You know what I mean? But
Good.
And that's another thing where, like you said, I agree. He is one of the best middleweights, and that fight with Bisping seems to haunt him very badly, where he's trying to pursue a heavyweight run where we haven't seen Luke Rockhold. You know what I mean? He's had these fight. He had a Jacare fight fall out, so I would love to see the Jacare rematch. Jacare actually said he's willing to retire if he doesn't get the fucking title shot. So
whoa, time out. Why the fuck? Why would he do that?
That's coming from the man himself. So that's
Get the
another
fuck
topic
out. Look, Jacare, shut the fuck
All right,
up.
speaking
man.
of topics, what's the next topic? Where are we at, Dave? What are we doing here? We've got the BJ thing done. We've got Luke done. Let's start the topics.
Yep.
All right, we said we start in reverse order, so we're talk a little bit more about fight bookings. Mark Hunt, Derek Lewis, it's official. Mark Hunt's still fighting in the UFC.
Let's go, Black Beast.
Yeah. Look, Mark Hunt can get him, but still.
Both have broken legs or broken feet or something like that too. So once they're healed up, then it's like official. I think right now they're still fucked up a little bit.
I would like to see Lewis win that fight, man. I think he's like quote unquote the future of the division. Mark Hunt's definitely kind of on his last limb. I mean, I love Hunt, but of the title and it didn't quite pan out right. Let's give Derek Lewis his run and see what happens. We might have fucking Derek Lewis and Ngannou fighting for the title. That would be fucking fun as fuck, right?
Yeah, the UFC's trying to beat that lawsuit out of Mark Hunt, and maybe they hit him enough times he'll forget about it.
I remember you said that, Eddie, and it's like, man, I sort of feel bad for Mark Hunt. You know what I mean? Like when Reem need him in his last fight, he nearly killed the fucking guy. So Mark Hunt has a million miles. Yeah. He's gotten beat down. What's his record now? He has a strange record. He's like 8-10 or some shit like that. Or what's his record?
But something like that. Something crazy. He's got that Couture type record.
But with the Black Beast lined up, that's why I said it all makes sense for the Ngannou, everything that the UFC has set up for him. So, but I do like that fight with the Hunt and Lewis, and I think Derek Lewis does win the fight. Still a little ways out, but I do love it. And also, I think it's on the same card as well. Back to middleweights, Derek Brunson against Judo Dan Cali. That's official too as well.
That's the money fight he was looking for.
There it is.
Yeah, dude, you get to fight the guy that got screwed over in the Anderson Silva fight. Congrats, Dan.
I got to go with Dan Cali in that one. I think he'll show up taped up again and hobbling in and out of the cage, and he'll probably handle business against Brunson. So.
Oh, I got Brunson knocking him the fuck out. That's just me.
Yeah, I like Brunson too, but I don't really give a shit about that fight.
Exactly my point. That's a money fight, Dan? Really? That's your money? Stop. Fucking shit with the money fight shit. Sorry, next thing. My bad.
And one last big fight that we've talked about, and we were pretty excited about it the first time it was announced, and here we have rebooked again. Bellator building up a New York City card, headline by none other than Fedor and the meathead, your boy Matt Mitrione.
Time out. Is that the headline or the co-main? Because I could have sworn it was a co-main, but I don't know. I haven't checked yet.
I believe the headliner or Chael is actually the headliner, I think, right? So this would be the co-main, right?
Okay, so then Chael Silva. Did we talk about that yet? Because that's ridiculous on its own.
No.
Well, yeah, we can just discuss this. We can discuss this all as one thing. This is Bellator 188, right?
Is that fight 180? It's like, is that fight not ridiculous already? Like the two. Look, only way this fight should happen is that they're juiced to the fucking eyeballs. Let them juice and then fight. They don't give a fuck. But if we see Vanderlei Silva after not training for who knows how long, all right, and then old ass Chael Sonnen that just fucking laid a goose egg against who? Who did he fight last? What was that fight? Fuck.
Tito
beat his ass. Yeah, fuck that. Let him juice. If they juice, 100% in. If they don't juice, I don't want to see that shit. Fuck that. Meanwhile, Fedor and Matt, look, we're a fucking kidney stone away from that fight not even happening. So who knows?
Yeah, pretty much.
Way to throw a dark cloud over it, Eddie. Way to throw a dark cloud.
Hey, I didn't tell Matt. No. I didn't tell Matt Mitrione to drink a bunch of fucking soda and then develop kidney stones. It's not my fault. The fatty don't want to take care of his shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, and the Vanderlei Chael thing. I mean, if people were to follow the old Ultimate Fighter where they had their little epic clash there, I guess that's the fight buildup that we have. And then these guys have been continually pursuing this fight for such a long time, and now Coker decided to stack it up with having Fedor and having the sweater go to New York City. And I don't know. Bellator is trying to build it up, and it's going to be a pay-per-view event. So my question to you guys is: are you guys paying for this pay-per-view?
He said pay. Fuck no.
Yeah. That. Yeah, no, it's definitely a pay-per-view. I didn't know that was a fact.
Oh, it's definitely a pay-per-view. Bellator's like, we're rolling the dice again.
Okay, no, well,
and there's still one fight that they haven't announced on that card.
No, they're out of their mind. I don't give a shit who they put. Let me tell you something, Jack. They can put MVP, goddamn it, Benson Henderson. They could scrounge up a few Koreans. I don't give a fuck what they do. No. And
not even Josh Koscheck and Dylan Dennis wouldn't get you excited, Fred?
Nope. Not to the point to spend money, Jack. Not in Trump's America.
Koscheck,
you can kiss my lily white ass. Listen, what month is this that they're doing it?
I believe it's June, right? It's like around the time of the International Fight Week, I believe. So it's the
and they want to take on the UFC? Get the fuck out.
Yep.
Right. And they picked that, that's going to be a pretty dope card that the UFC is going to be running then.
No, you got to love this though. They're taking on the UFC on the UFC's arguably biggest week of the year with former UFC fighters. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, this is a fucking comedy. We're not even writing it. It's a fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know, dog. I think this is a really bad idea. Pay-per-view's a motherfucker. I don't like buying the UFC's pay-per-views no more, but they've got me by the short and curlies. You know what I'm saying? They do got the world's finest fighters. Listen, will Chael and Vanderlei be entertaining in a watch your drunk uncles getting a scrap on the 4th of July in the backyard kind of way? Sure it will. Listen, is Fedor always intriguing? And could him watching him thump fucking meathead's fat head be kind of fun? Sure. But am I going to fucking shell out, $40-50 for it? No fucking way, dog. And I'm about as hardcore as they come. You know what I'm saying? Like, I if you could justify doing it, I would. But if that's what they got on the top of the bill, like I said, man, I like MVP. I fuck with Bellator. But, dog, they're, as the great Rock once said, they got to know their role and shut their mouth. Fuck. Like, their role is on TV, dog. I love that I can tune into Spike and still catch some quote-unquote high-level MMA, and that's an alternative there. But them trying to get in the pay-per-view market, dog, that is the Shark's Tank, and I could be wrong, but I think that's a really bad move.
That's a terrible move. Now, have they announced the price on this shit?
No, but whatever price it may be, where it's the month that it's taking place, huge potential for backfire. If the fights don't deliver, I mean, people don't even know who the fuck Vanderlei Silva is. Like these new Bud Light era fans, they have no clue who fucking Vanderlei and Chael and all this beef from the old days. So they don't even know who the fuck Fedor is.
Sorry, and let's be honest, Bellator's not the greatest with promoting their fights. I didn't fucking know they had cards coming up. I didn't know that King Mo and Rampage were fighting pretty soon, and they had their little press conference call today, and it became a massive joke. Like,
well, their next week when they do the official press conference for Chael and Vanderlei in New York, that's going to be another shit show to come because they're going to pull some type of shenanigans there and probably shove each other off the stage or whatever.
Forget that part. It's going to be Stunning carrying the whole promotion and Vanderlei Silva barely speaking English again. Have we not seen this on TV already? This is like watching the rerun of Ferris Bueller. It's dated. We're done.
The only way this thing actually sells some pay-per-views is if Fedor has, goddammit, Vladimir Putin walk him out to the fucking cage. Over the cage with like a shitload of the fucking mean-looking Russians just fucking cage side. Like, I don't know, dog. I heard the pay-per-view thing getting floated around on Twitter, but I didn't know that was like an absolute certainty. That is a really bad idea. I think I don't see that selling very well. Hell, they don't even got their quote unquote most popular fighters there. Like Rampage and King Mo ain't on that pay-per-view.
Michael Chandler or nobody. Yeah.
Yeah, dog. I mean, so basically, it's on the backs of essentially Fedor and Chael.
Pretty
And then
much.
Dylan
Because I mean,
Danis
come
too. I
on,
think he gets on
fucking
there.
shit. Dylan Dennis ain't gonna bring in shit, Jack.
Tell me out. Dylan Dennis is fighting
Not
there?
for motherfuckers paying.
No, I think he has to be added there because I think he has a lot of like fans and interest in New York. Where I think he trained up there a lot too. I think it's like it's not official or anything right now, but I see it as that's a good platform to put Dylan Danis on.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
there's a couple other fights that have been added on there too that make it a decent card overall when you look at it in its entirety.
Is Michael Venom Page available for that fight?
He better be available. I think he doesn't have.
If you put Danis versus Page, I would enjoy that massively because I dislike both guys. Like as far as their attitudes go, you know what I mean. If Michael Venom Page kicks the shit out of Dylan Dennis, I win. If Dylan Dennis chokes out Michael Venom Page, I win. Let's make that fight happen. I win either way. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, just a matter of time, and they'll have that Dylan Dennis booking. And I'm gonna say cost check right now is like the wild card type of name where they might throw at him right out the gates.
Oh my god! Honestly, look,
bruh,
I get Kasha got knocked the fuck out.
They are going.
But...
You know,
what's up?
You know who fucking Dylan Dennis is going to fight in his first fight in Bellator?
Who?
Fucking Jim McNobody.
Exactly.
Malvin
Gillard. I have a clue. They're going to give him somebody to stunt against and to fucking pull off a goddamn go-go Pilata or some shit like that. Like, I feel like they're going to throw him a fucking tomato can. And rightfully so.
And also, continuing on the Bellator topic, this should close off like most of our Bellator discussion on this show. We heard about Ryan Bader. We know he's officially in Bellator now, looking and eyeing a fight.
See ya. No one wants to see you. Bye, motherfucker.
So Phil Davis, that's who he's eyeing. They got a history together. That fight probably could get added to that card in New York, but it wouldn't be bad if they did. So you guys see that is something being added, or they just have to do that as like one of their cards headliner with a bunch of shitbird fights underneath.
Look, man, as far as Davis, fucking Ryan Bader never made me give a shit.
I tell you one thing, I can't fight.
You what?
Yeah, no, that fight sucks.
Oh, fuck yeah, it sucks.
Like, we've seen that fight before, and it sucked then. Just like we all knew that it would probably suck going into it. Listen, man, it's like finding a good partner to fuck. Just because I'm good at fucking and you're a slut doesn't mean when we get together it's going to be magic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Phil Davis is a great fighter. Ryan Bader is a great fighter. But when you put those two pricks in the ring together, there's no magic there, dog. And I might be going out on a limb, and maybe it'll be a barn burner, and I'll forever eat my words. But I would almost bet my fucking left nut that if those two fuckers fight, it's gonna be boring and fucking tedious.
I'm already bored. I haven't had to fight yet, man.
But probably boring. Now, I guess since Ryan Bader went over there, I mean, what the fuck? It's not like Bellator's fucking, 205 division is fucking stacked as fuck. Right. I suppose it's the right fight to make in a hierarchy way. But as far as it having any type of entertaining value, fuck.
Limited, very much limited entertainment there because, based on their last fight, of course. And then, Phil Davis, we know his style too. So it plays out to be something like a shit show. Very possible.
Oh, it's a bad shit show because Phil Davis, look, everyone wants to talk about, Phil Davis got butthurt. Phil Davis is like, how can I fucking put this? He's like the James Harden of MMA. Okay, James Harden, if anyone doesn't know, up until this year, he finally passing the ball. But like last year and every year before that, it's like, he can score all the buckets, but he can't play defense with his shit and he won't pass the ball. He's just a scorer, right? And he was getting pissed off that people were saying that. He wanted everyone to think he's the best basketball player on the planet, but he can only do one goddamn thing, right? Up until this year, of course, now he's playing way better. Phil Davis can only do one goddamn thing, and people say it, and he gets butthurt. He's upset. He's like, "Oh no, I don't just wrestle. And that's what you get for like 30 minutes of him just talking. He ain't got nothing. I don't want to see that fight for shit. Put that on the undercard, please."
Well, moving on, I guess, fellas, from the ranks of Bellator to UFC in the same division, 205 division, we're talking Jimmy Poster Boy Manuwa. The title gets defended in a couple weeks, fellas. So Jimmy Manuwa he's eyeing as maybe a replacement, but he looks that he wants to take on the winner of that fight. And he's actually back in training and steadily just on standby mode. We never know what's up with Daniel Cormier. So what do you guys think as far as Jimmy Manuwa goes, his position in the 205, the grand scheme of things as far as title talks and in the talks of the John Jones fight, all that good stuff. So Eddie, what are your thoughts on Jimmy Manuwa at this point?
Actually, let Fred go first. He looks like he's more rated than I am.
Fred?
Does he get the winner? All due respect, fuck no. Now, if if all of a sudden fucking AJ or DC more than likely drops out, and they had to have Jimmy Manuwa step up and fight AJ, I would accept that as a replacement for sure. But all due fucking respect, beating Corey Anderson and getting a fucking title shot would be a fucking hell of a sham. I fucking like Jimmy Manuwa, and I think he very well, could be a title threat. But this is not the fight that gets him the winner. Maybe the loser of that fight, if DC and AJ happens and Anthony Johnson loses to DC again, then maybe Anthony Johnson and Jimmy Manuwa could be a lot of fun. But no, I don't think he's going to be fighting for the fucking belt coming off a win over, Corey, overrated as fuck Anderson.
That's a better nickname than overtime. Listen, I like Jimmy Manuwa. I think he had a spectacular knockout this weekend. He knocked out a guy all of us wanted to see him knock out. All right. But, and mind you, 205 is not stacked at all. But I think him looking for the winner of AJ and DC it's a bit much. He has a better shot coming as a replacement for DC than anything, really. Like, it's smart on his part to get back to training and be ready to cut weight.
Totally.
And actually, he needs to be just cut weight and make 205 that day, just in case shit happens. Okay, that's the only way he's gonna get a title shot, or a title shot anytime soon. I think, because other than that, he needs to win a couple more fights. I think, in order to be a serious contender, or he needs to do something crazy or say something crazy to get WME to be like, oh shit, we got to pay bills, get that guy and bring him in here. Basically, those are the only two options right now. But I don't think he's gonna get that fight. I think it'll be John Jones getting that the winner of that fight. So
yeah, and like you said too, Eddie, if it's something that he said to try to stir up the pot and get his name, out there, he definitely did that as far as his performance. And then post-fight talking about Johnny Bones and kind of like going back a little bit on his statement about John and possible, tainted supplements and stuff like that, kind of tainting his legacy. But Jimmy Manuwa knows exactly where he's at. He's very self-aware. I do think it's a smart plan that he does go back to training. And I agree with you, Eddie. I think it's really, if DC or AJ pulls out, that's his only opportunity, because we know Jones is going to come back in a couple months' time. So either he does get maybe the loser, like Fred said, but maybe he just gets John Jones in a 3-round fight. Who knows?
I'll tell you what.
Very possible. And I think Jimmy Manuwa right now, if Jimmy Manuwa fought John Jones in 2 or 3 weeks from now, who would you guys take?
Ooh, John Jones.
Listen, you gotta take John. You gotta take John Jones.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who John Jones. If John Jones came back and fought motherfucking Francis Ngannou, I'm taking John Jones. Until somebody proves otherwise, that motherfucker's the GOAT in my book. Now, he hasn't fought in a long time, so it's really hard to say. And as far as that fight against Jimmy Manuwa is sharp. He fucking hits hard as fuck. He's learning daily. His last loss was to Gustafsson, and he was humble enough and smart enough to go train with Gus. So Jimmy Manuwa was a lot.
Yep.
That no joke. But all that being said, you don't vote against John Jones. I know he didn't look that great against OSP, but all due respect, he's still fucking Johnny Bones Jones, Jack.
And he hasn't taken any damage anytime recently. He's like 100%. I mean, 100%. His chin hasn't been tested. He hasn't been in any wars. He's going to come in fresh as fuck. He might be rusty for a round and a half. And then you're going to see Johnny Bones come back and turn it on. He's just an exceptional talent He's like the guy in high school who who didn't do any homework ever, never studied, but turns out he paid attention during class and he aced every fucking test. He's that fucking asshole. That's John Jones. You know what I mean?
True. Very true.
So he comes back. I don't think he's gonna have a problem. He'll be rusty for a fight, maybe like the OSP fight, right? It'll be something like that for the first fight, maybe the first round and a half, and then he'll put away a guy like Manuwa, a guy like basically almost anybody at 205. Now, if light heavyweights are smart, they are getting in shape and training right the fuck now because anybody can get in there with DC out. Right? I mean the top 5 at least. I mean, if I'm one of the bigger like middleweights, like a Luke Rockhold or like a Chris Weidman, although Weidman has a fight coming up. If I'm either one, like a guy that size, where it's like the 185 cuts a motherfucker, but I can make 205 no problem. I'm training right now just in case that fight comes up, because then it could get interesting, right? But definitely, Manuwa was smart. Everyone else at the top 5 at 205 needs to be ready to go.
Yeah, and also do not forget, speaking on 205, Gus has a fight against Glover. Like Fred said, Gus and Manuwa are training partners. Manuwa sort of has, somewhat of an edge on some of these top guys as far as like past performances and stuff in the gym, technique, stuff like that. But he ruled out that that's not a possibility. He's not going to fight Gus, say Gus wins. So it's pretty much lined up for either AJ, DC, or Jones. And that's what he said, I think, on the Hilwani show, I'm pretty sure. But I like where Jimi Manuwa is at right now. I would love to see him compete for the title and get a shot. Do not forget Alexander Gustafsson. Do you guys know how old Gus is, right?
No.
Him and Jones are the same age. They're 30 years old, I think. So they're the youngest guys at 205, besides like Corey Anderson. So I'm not going to count out Gus until if Glover starches him, Gus is done. But if Gus gets past Glover and he's impressive, Gus could find himself fighting Johnny, fighting DC, or Rumble once again. So the 205, it's sort of getting back into the swing of things where we know who's at the top. Jimi Manuwa put his name in the hat, and he's definitely in the conversation now. So he's a killer right now.
Real quick, I'm looking at the YouTube comments, and Fightbook just said, just tuned in. Not sure if this was mentioned. Tim Bosch against Johnny Hendricks instead of BJ Penn and Dennis Seaver. Is Tim Bosch fighting Johnny Hendricks?
Yeah, that's correct.
They're trying to get rid of old Johnny Hendricks, man. They're trying to send his ass back to the barbecue shop. All right. Sorry. Are we done with 205? This Manuwa thing?
Yeah.
Let's move on. Tim Bosch and Johnny Hendricks, get the fuck out of here.
All right, moving on to the next topic, guys. I mentioned it earlier. Fred didn't believe me and thought it was some sort of a joke, or I don't know, man. Vitor Belfort calling out CM Punk. I don't know where we are. How do we end up here, fellas? Like,
how we talk about?
Okay, no, hold on. Okay, wait. First off, like, just for the 6.5 people that are watching, because I know we got us a little person out there who watches. And for me, what happened? So it happened. Where and to whom and what was the context? I don't want to slander the poor boy. I don't mind making fun of a motherfucker, but I swear to God, all bullshit aside, this one's a little hard to believe. Where was he at when he said this? Where's this quoted from?
Eddie?
I thought it was a post-fight press conference, wasn't it?
I think it was an interview that he did in Brazil, I believe.
It was at the same time where he came up with that League of Legends shit, or that like Legends division shit, the same day.
Yeah, the Legend division shit. Okay, yeah, so this is
before he got his ass beat by Calvin Gastelum, though. Keep in mind, for sure.
It was before that?
Yeah.
No, it was after that.
Was it after? Okay.
It was after the fight. They were talking like, Vitor, is it for you? Are you done? And he goes, Legends division. Give me CM Punk. Like, what the fuck? Sorry. Real quick, to clear it up. I just remembered. It was days later. He did an interview, and they asked him who he want. And he was like, oh, yeah, I want to fight CM Punk. And because it was, I believe it was a written interview, like context, whether he was joking or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah, listen, I was
okay. I don't think he's joking.
Okay, well, listen, I'm being serious. If he was not joking, I don't want to see Vitor fight no more, because that means he don't know what's happening, really. CM Punk has had one professional fight against a guy named Mickey Gall, who's a natural 155er, who absolutely threw him a shit kicking. Vitor, you are a former UFC fucking heavyweight champion or light heavyweight champion, even when it was back in the day. A guy who almost broke John Jones's arm, even if he was all juiced up on TRT. You, my friend, are actually a legend. Now, I'm hoping it was a written interview and there's just some stupid thing. And it's a context thing. But if he is serious, he is off his fucking meds. I mean, that's just about the sickest thing I've ever. First off, you know, CM Punk somewhere right now shitting his pants going, what the fuck did I ever do to him? I mean, Vitor, listen, for all intents and purposes, Vitor looked okay in the fight. I mean, Kelvin is an animal. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to dehydrate the shit out of himself now. He's hella strong at the weight. Vitor don't look as shop worn as fucking Shogun does to me. Him talking about CM Punk is just disgusting, man. I don't know. That's crazy talk.
It's even more. It's more hilarious when you guys hear Michael Bisping's interview when he's trashing him about calling out CM Punk, because we all know what happened with Bisping. You know, he took a loss to the fucking Reuter himself, where Bisping probably could have got to a title shot a lot quicker, but he couldn't. I mean, in the position that Bisping's in, holding the gold, talking how he was, it was perfect. You guys got to go and check that out because he goes off on fucking Vitor Belfort. But like Fred said, though, former champion, legend, nearly fucking took out the great Johnny Bones and took the title from him in his prime. And here we are in March of 2017, and he's calling for CM motherfucking Punk. So,
look, man, I heard this shit, and I go, come on, dog. Come on, bro. Why? What's the point? What do you have to gain? If you want to go out on a W, okay, fine. Throw all CM Punk in there and let him get catch an ass kick and go on a W. But we're all gonna make fun of you for it. We're all gonna be like, you took on a guy that fought one time and got massacred. Like, there's nothing impressive about this. I'd be more impressed if you said, you know what, my time's up. Thanks everybody for the memories. I'm retiring.
Bruh,
thank you very much. I'd be more impressed by
Matt
that.
Brown. Give me Matt Brown. I mean, I can think of 8,000 people.
Matt Brown's not an 85er though.
What the fuck? Neither is CM Punk.
Yeah, but we don't give a shit
whole
about CM
point.
Punk.
I mean, come on, bro. This is just. It's ridiculous.
It's a joke. It's a complete joke. It's a complete joke. I'm pretty sure he didn't mean it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about it like, oh, he wants CM Punk, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He doesn't want CM Punk. He knows better than he knows better than that. Look, for all the crazy shit Vitor says and all the Jesus juice he's drinking in his life to scramble his fucking brain, all the TRT. All right, he's not an idiot. He's just not.
Right.
So
had to be lost in translation, man.
Exactly.
So let's hope to God that fight doesn't happen. And moving on to the next subject, sticking around in the middleweight division, mentioned it a little bit earlier. Jacare says he's willing to retire if he doesn't get the shot. I've been one to say and advocate on this show that Jacare will never get the title shot, and I will stand by that. And I think he will retire without getting a title shot. So, Eddie?
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm calling it bluff. I don't think he means it. I think he's just saying it to scare to try and scare the UFC into throwing him into a big fight or into a title shot, right? Because you don't want to waste this kind of talent.
Yeah. If
he does retire, excuse me, that's a bad move. But completely. Fred, go ahead. I'm about to cough my ass off.
It's a good thing this isn't our new little show, The Verbal Scrap, because I completely agree with Eddie, dog. I don't blame Jacare for doing what he's doing. Goddamn guerrilla tactics, threaten him with a little fucking retirement. You gotta do what you gotta do. I ain't hating. I understand what he's doing. But he's a young man. He's a bad motherfucker. He's in his prime. And, you know, look, Jack, if Luke Rockhold ain't the baddest man at 185, then Jacare is. Or maybe Yoel Romero. Whatever. He's right up there in the fucking top. You know what I'm saying? Jacare is a bad man. Okay, Eddie, you're going to live, right? You're scared.
I'm going to live. It's all right. The problem is
Okay, just I just make sure.
I wasn't joking. I was like, I was working out, lifting and shit. And then I got a Chipotle. Their fucking chips are killing me. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Easy.
We're good.
Easy, big fella.
We're good.
Easy.
But real quick though, He's bluffing. McGregor did the same shit. Remember, he tweeted out, thanks for the cheese. See you guys later. And out of nowhere, all of a sudden he's got a fight. He's got a new contract and a bunch of other shit. He's trying it. It's not gonna work, but he's trying it. And I think they're gonna give him. They're gonna at least offer him a big fight or tell him like, look, we'll give you the winner. You know what I mean? Just tell him that. See what happens.
And that's
he's
also,
right there.
I'm gonna go to the comments here. Georgie just brought up a pretty good point. He's saying that Vitor wants to pay CM Punk for the pay-per-view points because a lot of everybody that's heard Vitor talk about the money that he's lost with the sponsors and that I think his wife even came out about and said Vitor basically fights for the passion of the sport for fun basically. So he's just trying to get a payday. He thinks CM Punk is the ticket there. So great point by Georgie. Shout out to Georgie, Bipoke MMA. East Sider Rider on the comments too. So yeah, great point by Georgie there.
Well, not to be a contrarian to Georgie's great point there, but you only get points on the pay-per-view if you're a champ, right?
Or if it's in your contract.
Yeah, or if it's a main event slot or so. But who fuck? Yeah, that's a shit show.
I thought it was exclusive to champions. I thought that was like one of the perks of being a champion is you get those pay-per-view points finally.
I'm not sure. I think
I could be wrong about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, they gave CM Punk.
Yeah, maybe it's per contract.
The UFC 203, I thought CM Punk got pay-per-view there.
But CM Punk is like maybe it is in his fucking contract. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna fucking bring 200,000 buys with him. Oh, yeah. Which is a very unique thing that pretty much no other fucking person on the planet that could, I don't know what the fuck CM Punk's contract is, but I promise you it's different than most of those poor saps signed.
Hey, Chael Sonnen had his contract, title fight or not. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Fucking Chael Sonnen.
Yeah, right.
Well, moving on to a little bit more, or we'll touch on one more Bellator topic. It involves a pretty known figure in the sport of mixed martial arts on the commentator side. We talked about it a little bit before. We assume that this may be the route that he takes, but now we do know Mike Goldberg in talk to Scott Coker, looking to probably show up on the scene down at Bellator. So, what is the timetable on me actually seeing Goldberg calling fights for that organization?
I just can't wait till he goes. They're nearly identical. I want him to just do that shit. I want him to fuck up and say UFC something or other. I just want to hear the fuck ups. Look, he fucked up when he was working for the UFC. He said the wrong thing, left and right, all the fucking things. He said goofy ass shit. He's gonna be on the broadcast. Benson Henderson gonna be fighting. He's like the former UFC lightweight champion back in the octagon. Oh wait, no, the cage. Oh wait, what are we calling this thing? Like, it's gonna be fucking awesome. I just want to see it just for pure comedy's sake.
And Fred, do you think it happens? And I like what Eddie said because I do think that that's kind of Bellator's plan where they're already picking up most of these free agents. They snag up old Goldie. What do you think happens then, Fred?
I want to tell you something. This would have been a great topic for the verbal script because I don't like nothing about what you just said. Listen, I fuck with Goldberg, okay? Yeah, they're going to do this because Goldie's fucking good at what he does. No, he's not going to fucking call the goddamn shit out.
Is that a ghost?
Holy shit.
That's a ghost.
It is a ghost.
Oh, shit, Nick Pilecki's alive!
What's happening, Nick?
What is up, guys? What's going on?
Nick Pilecki's fucking alive.
Happening, man?
Dude, I thought you were dead.
No, not dead. Just basically
Just your
dead.
Eagles.
Just
your
Eagles.
Your Eagles are dead. Anyway, what's up, man? Fuck.
Nothing much, man. Just getting off work. Thought I'd jump on since I'm finally off of work.
Well, we are on the topic of Mike Goldberg joining the ranks of Bellator and calling fights for Bellator real soon, Nick. So your thoughts on that and how soon does it actually happen in your opinion?
I hope it happens, man, because I miss Goldie's voice. Just he one of the greatest commentators in my opinion, and he's one of the reasons why I continue to watch UFC, and he was to me with Joe Rogan the voice of the UFC. But it will be good to hear him commentating with Bellator. There's some great fighters over there and some good fights, and I think it'd be very interesting to see him on a different market.
Hey, for real though, there's a ton of like Eastern Europeans in Bellator, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine the amount of fuck ups he's gonna have on those last names? Like, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fucking great. Real quick, there's actually a good question on the comments here. Catherine asked, do you think Bellator or CM Punk would even be main card material? That's a good question. Yeah. It would be on the main card. It would be because of CM Punk's contract. But is it main card material? Like, would you want to watch that on the main card?
Of a UFC pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Not of a pay-per-view.
Can Can it open up the pay-per-view? Can it be like the first fight?
I think at best it's on a main card of a fight night.
Fucking A. I'll take it on the fucking opening card. Nothing like a good slaughter to get the old taste buds warmed up for the night's festivities.
Just bleed, man. Just bleed. Remember those
For
fuckers?
real. Sure. It'll be fun. I mean, for people who don't like CM Punk.
For Vitor, it'll be fun.
So if it's a UFC Rio, like I guess that's what maybe the plan would be at 212. I guess they could do that where it opens up the main card, and yeah, like Fred said, that's something where to get you going, CM Punk goes down into enemy territory and takes out a legend. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, dude, if that happened, if that fucking happened, Jesus fucking Christ, no, that's not gonna happen. I don't even want to pretend that's even a thought.
I'm starting to actually think. I'm telling you, man. All this crazy shit's going on. Goddamn, Donald Trump's the fucking president. The more and more I think about it, watch, they're gonna fuck around and do this. We're gonna get fucking Vitor Belfort versus CM Punk in Brazil. They're gonna be like, fuck it, let's give Vitor one good one on the way out the door. Give him an American star and a feast on in Brazil. CM Punk will never take that fight. What the fuck?
No.
Like, there's no way that ever happens.
However, if he did, are there a lot of wrestling fans in Brazil? I'm assuming there's like a ton of wrestling fans in Brazil. Because that would be interesting to me to see if they actually would cheer this motherfucker.
I don't think they would cheer.
No,
There's no way.
No? Okay.
There's no way.
Nah.
If
there ain't that many wrestling fans in Brazil, Jack.
By the way, it's because we
CM Punk,
have, especially because we have Nick on here. Okay, Anderson Silva against Kelvin Gastelum. Who you picking, Nick?
You know I go Anderson Silva 100%.
Oh, you're fucking up. You're fucking up already.
But I like that fight. I'm actually intrigued with that fight. I think Kelvin has a good chance, though.
Yeah, I would think so too. All right, sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if CM Punk doesn't fight Vitor, they might as well book him against what's the poker guy, the Instagram king, Dan Bilzerian.
No, fuck that guy. That motherfucker didn't he have like implants or abs were like implanted? Like they're not real. I read that. Is that real? Anyone know?
Not quite sure.
No clue.
Makes sense. He's like a billionaire, right?
He's rich as fuck, is all I know.
Yeah, he's filthy rich, and he's the king
would do.
of fucking Instagram. Yeah. But
I don't know anything about this guy.
Fuck working out.
That's why I'm mentioning it, because the guy, like, he was on the show with Goes and George on MMA Junkie Radio, and he said that he's looking to pursue a fight, whether it's fucking UFC or Bellator. That dude's got some cash, and he could probably draw some interest for that fight too. So who the fuck knows? So
first of all, Scott Coker's already on the phone with this motherfucker for sure. But
yeah.
Why? How old is this motherfucker?
Bilzerian, I think he's like 38 or 37.
Dude, Dan, there's zero reason for you to do this. All right, okay. I'm gonna tell you something, Dan. I know I've seen your stupid shit on like Instagram. I can't even say stupid. I am legit give you props. He lives grab her by the pussy. He lives that shit. He has one on each finger. In every picture of a yacht, it's a chick on each finger. He's that ridiculously rich. Why do you want to get in the cage and get your face beat off? Why? You know what? Fuck it. Dan Bilzerian, Dylan Dennis, make it happen.
They're gonna announce Dennis is gonna get a fight soon, though. They're gonna announce that shit real soon. So
hey, Bilzerian can finally learn what it's like to be taken from behind for a change.
So, all right. So going from CM Punk talks and Dan Bilzerian talks, we're gonna jump back into the fight that everybody wants to see, and it's continually brewing up. We don't know what the fuck if it's gonna happen in Vegas, if it's gonna happen in New York, but Floyd Mayweather suggesting that Moscow is going to be a good setting for him and Conor. I mean, Moscow coming from Floyd Mayweather, that kind of, I don't know. I wish Andy was here to discuss it with us, because you know what Andy would probably say about the fight actually taking place in Russia. So,
fuck off! I can't even do an accent. Sorry.
But let's start with Nick here, man. Nick, Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather in Russia. What the fuck?
I don't know what's going through his mind. I don't even know if he. Why Russia? Why, of all places, why Russia? If you want to do it in MSG or do it in Vegas. Those are the two places that you do this boxing fight at. It would be one of the biggest fights in the world today. MSG or in Vegas, you're going to do it in Moscow? Why? There's no point.
And Fred, man, we always talked about Khabib possibly fighting Conor in Ireland or Russia, but now we're talking Floyd and Conor in Russia. What do you think about that, man? What's Mayweather up to, man? I mean, why would he want to fight in Russia though? What's the main reason you think?
I got one question for y'all. What's Floyd's nickname?
Money.
Right? I mean, listen, obviously somebody in Russia, fuck ton of money, wants this fight there.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Maybe, quite probably even Putin himself. No, I'm being dead serious with you.
Yeah.
It's going to be a huge generator of money.
Mm-hmm.
People will fly in from all over. They will spend tons of money. People that even will be able to attend this fight will be, look at what they did for the fucking Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao. Vegas is probably still spending that money, Jack.
Oh yeah.
Like, they know that's a huge moneymaker, like a global moneymaker for all kinds. The whole fucking Moscow will get lifted up if they get that fight. So I bet you, Putin or somebody in that realm, some fucking Russian billionaires are probably getting together and being like, yo, let's fucking throw a lot of money and make this thing happen here. And that, for that moment in time, the world's eyes will be on Moscow.
Yeah.
Makes sense in a weird way. And I mean, Floyd's always down for more money. And let's be honest, so is fucking Conor. Quite frankly, I wouldn't rule it out.
I'll tell you what.
It might just fuck around and happen.
I'll tell you what. This is his bargaining chips. We're starting the bidding war between Vegas and everybody else. And Vegas is going to win.
Yeah.
This is going to happen. That's all you're doing is you're jacking up the price.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It's either Vegas or MSG that wins this one. I don't think anyone else can win this one.
Yeah, and it's really...
Time out. What's the last big boxing event at MSG? Anyone remember? We gotta be thinking like Mike Tyson-ish, right?
Yeah, have to be.
I would assume.
Yeah, this would be the first. I mean, look, this would be the opportunity for New York and MSG to pipe up some money, all right, and make it the spot to have boxing events again. Just to have it. Cause think about it. Mayweather, McGregor at Madison Square Garden, New York. Okay. I think that'd be huge for them because last time they had a big fight was like a Tyson fight or whatever, right? It's been a long time. I think it's gonna come down to Vegas versus New York. I think Vegas wins anyway, but New York will be smart to try and get that fight in their town.
Yeah, and I think the Russian thing, the suggestion from Floyd, just kind of raises a red flag for me because we talked about it on the verbal scrap. As far as fights going down in Russia, we all know what happened when Fedor fought Fabio Maldonado. So time around, it being a boxing fight, these two big guys, Conor and Floyd, two of the biggest fucking stars there is. I think that's a real suspicious setting to have that fight take place. It's got to take place in Vegas, fight town. You know what I mean? It's got to happen there, and it indeed is going to happen in Vegas. It's not going to be New York or Moscow. 100% it's going to happen in Vegas for sure, in my opinion, of course. But yeah, I guess that should close up the whole suggestion of the Russia argument, I guess, being brought into.
Look, I'll tell you what. If Putin does it, like he needs to have like it's got to be the ring has to be surrounded by like Russian soldiers to scare the shit out of everybody. I would enjoy it. It's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, they will. If it does, they will. 100%.
What's next, man?
And some quick hit topics as we close out the show. We will start by more than likely the cunt of the year, cunt of the week, whatever you want to call him. Complete piece of shit. War Machine sentenced to likely life in prison finally, and I think in June, Eddie, they're finally going to sentence this bastard and put him away, hopefully for life, because he's a total piece of shit.
You know what? The one thing about this entire War Machine Christy Mack thing that has fascinated me are the dudes that are defending this motherfucker on Twitter. Like I tweeted out earlier today, I was like, I want to have a podcast with 2 or 3 of these motherfuckers, just because I want to know what the hell they're thinking. I'm like, okay, why do you defend War Machine? Why do you think it's Christy Mack's fault? Most of those guys are like, well, she cheated on him. What did she think was going to happen? Well, I'm sure she didn't think he was going to beat the fuck out of her and almost kill her.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was the last thing he was thinking. The fuck are you talking about? But, you know.
What was this, Saudi Arabia?
Exactly. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? But, you know, I just want to talk to those guys. Other than that, he deserves it. Go to fucking prison. He'll probably never get out.
100%.
He'll never get out. So.
He'll probably kill himself.
That's what I'm saying. He'll never get out.
Hopefully. On to the next topic. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He had a little knee scope surgery take place, successful surgery. He's looking to get back as soon as possible. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Fred, man, what do they do with this guy going forward? He's probably wants a fight as soon as possible, as soon as he's ready to train. What does he get?
You know, I don't know. Corey Anderson, who knows, right? Who gives a shit? Fucking weight division don't mean who you know, whatever. Give him whatever he wants, you know. Let him fucking Vitor, whatever makes him feel good.
Carlos Condit.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, Matt Brown just lost, didn't he? I want to see Matt Brown get a name. I know he's coming off a loss, but fuck it. For some reason, I want to see that rematch.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And I think that Wonderboy kind of needs to regroup a little bit. I don't think he needs to go down too far in the rankings, but you know, he's coming off of 2 back-to-back fights with the champ that went the distance. He needs to his feet back under him, so to speak. So that'd be a fun fight.
Yo, does Robbie Lawler have a date?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, Nick, what do you think, man? Wonderboy off the surgery, rehabbing. As soon as he's ready to go, he wants to fight, he said. So
yeah, I was gonna say to see if Robbie Lawler wants to hop in with Wonderboy, because I think that would be a hell of a fucking fight.
Well, that's a fight. Go ahead, sorry.
No, go for it.
No, that's a fight that Wonderboy wanted to fight in the first place, right?
Yeah.
And when Tyron Woodley was like, "We want to fight Robbie Lawler. Let him fight Robbie Lawler." Well, yeah, let him fight Robbie Lawler now. Fuck, like that's about it. That's all we got right now.
No, that would be a hell of a fight. That'd be a nice striking match just to watch, and just it'd be a good fight. And I honestly agree. I think, I don't know, that last fight with Woodley, I thought it was a lot closer than that, but I don't know. We'll see.
Cowboy Cerrone versus Wonderboy Thompson, summertime.
That would be a nice fight.
Frankie Edgar talking about possibly a bantamweight move at some point. We know he's slated to face a young rising killer in Yair Rodriguez, but Frankie Edgar at bantamweight, I mean, he's got to get through Yair, and then we can go from there. But
I'll tell you
he's
what.
open to the option. What do you think, Ed?
I'll tell you what. He should have moved to bantamweight years ago. You're too old now, buddy. That weight cut's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh yeah. And let's see. There's also a pretty good Twitter beef going on right now with Mark Diakese and Paul Felder, as they're trying to brew up a matchup with those two. So, you guys like that fight, and you think it does happen?
I can dig that fight. That'd be fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
It'd be a nice little step up for how you pronounce his last name? I'm the worst at this.
Nobody knows.
Diakese.
Diakese, yeah.
That'd be fun.
Dude, so yeah, Felder, known tough bastard. That'd be an excellent fight. I hope that fight gets booked real soon.
It makes sense too. Not that fucking, you know, rankings really mean any fucking thing, but for whatever they do fucking mean, I'm assuming those cats got to be somewhere in the same range.
No, for sure. Right. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
No, I'm 100% agree with all of you.
Cool.
That'd be a nice fight.
And okay, since we have Nick on the show, I got a topic I want to throw at Nick real quick that I was reading about Miesha Tate. We know she's behind the desk commentary at Fox, but she has expressed some interest as possibly maybe going the route of a WWE. You actually see that as something where Miesha does end up over there. Nick, what do you think, man?
I don't know. That I read that earlier today, and I thought that would be weird for Miesha Tate, because, okay, I don't think she can. I don't think she has the acting skills per se to pursue WWE, and a lot of those women over in WWE right now, because obviously I still watch. You guys can see me on Twitter go off. I don't think she can compete with that. I think it's a different type of cardio and a different type of work ethic to do that, and I don't think Miesha Tate could keep up with that, especially that lifestyle. That lifestyle is on the road every day and you're training every single day, and I don't think she would enjoy that.
Okay,
Maybe
wait.
a WrestleMania appearance, but that's it.
Yeah.
Don't you need charisma to be a pro wrestler?
Yeah.
She has none
No.
ever. That's what when they're talking about.
Oh,
Oh, get the fuck out! When they were talking about Ronda going to WWE, I said the same shit.
Yeah.
What is she gonna do? Roar in the middle of the fucking ring? Who gives a fuck? There's no charisma in either one of those girls.
you don't think Misha Tate's got some charisma though? I mean, listen,
In that ass, maybe. Look, if she shows up wearing a
Jesus
thong,
Christ.
I'm gonna watch. But I don't give a fuck what she says. I've never cared about her talking. Come on, tell me one time you actually give a shit about what she said.
It's because you're a disgusting pig.
Says a disgusting
What?
pig. Says a disgusting pig. What are we talking about here?
Fuck, I know. When you got
I'm
me
just making the
calling you a
point.
pig,
I'm
you
just
need to
making no.
chill.
Time out. I'm making the fucking point that no one gives a fuck what she says. She has no charisma. You need to have some kind of personality. And she comes off so flat every time. She's never said anything with any emotion ever. It's always been a pandering line of shit.
Jesus, Siskel and fucking Ebert hybrid, calm down. She never shows no emotion. She's hideous.
No. She's hot as fuck.
Except for her ass.
Oh, come on. That was a joke. Still, but that's the point. If you get her on there to get the people that love me, should take on there. Okay, that's about it. Because she's not gonna be a pro wrestler like the entire time because she has no personality as far as like what pro wrestling would entail. I mean, the reason The Rock was so goddamn like successful in wrestling because he has personality. He's funny as fuck. I mean, Misha, every time I watched 5 minutes of that Fight Valley movie, holy shit, I feel like my eyeballs were raped. That's what I'm saying.
Horrid. Yeah. But
And on that note,
pretty much, because pretty much I thought it through. I mean, you guys made some great points. I think I thought I could see her maybe go the route, but I agree with Nick. She could possibly just pop up at WrestleMania, do a little appearance, something like Ronda Rousey's done before. But yeah, Misha, former bantamweight champion, be kind of strange to see her go to the realms of pro wrestling. But yeah, very strange times. But she'll probably indeed get a pretty big payday if she does. So. Is there anything else you guys want to hit before we end the show? I just want to let our listeners know and let everybody know there is talks about Holly Holm's got a fight booking supposed to be announced. It's a 6-0 fighter. It's supposed to be scheduled for like a UFC Singapore or South Korea. And I think I can't remember her name. Her name is like Kim Ji Yeon.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Something like that.
She's undefeated. I think she competed in Deep, but unknown to probably a lot of hardcore fans and Bud Light fans have no clue who this woman is, but Holly Holm in talks. That fight should be announced soon.
Okay. That you just said it right there, though. Holly Holm is a former bantamweight champion, and she's gonna fight a no-name nobody. Like, if she takes the fight, that's just Holly Holm going, fuck it, I just want to fight. I get that, completely get that. But there's nothing to gain for her here except get a W and to keep her spot in the UFC. That's all she has to gain here. Right? Yeah. I mean, Nick, the new girl has way more to gain in this fight, right?
Yeah, no, she beats Holly Holm. She skyrockets. But if Holly Holm wins, okay, cool. She beat a no-name fighter right now. Holly needs that win.
Oh, she needs a W to stay in the UFC.
Also, the fight will most likely be at bantamweight too, not at 145.
Well, again, I mean,
either way, she still needs that W. She needs a win. She needs a win to be able to stay in the UFC.
Badly. But Holly's the ultimate competitor, so that's something where she's gonna come back. She's gonna try to grind back up and do her thing. But
real quick, and sorry, Dave, because I know you're an ABQ and everything. Didn't Holly Holm say she didn't want to fight very long because she wants to have kids or something?
I think there's like people around her where they kind of suggested like at her age and what she's accomplished in martial arts and in boxing that she's accomplished so much that people have brought that up to her close friends, training partners, where she may decide to do that in the next couple of years or so. Holly's 35 years old, 36 years old now.
Yeah.
So she may have a couple more years left. Say she does get this next fight and win under her belt and move on from there. Her manager, he's just a crazy son of a bitch. He wants her to get in there and fight and continue to, try to bring it back, bring another title back, because that 45 title fight still has a lot of stink to it. A lot of people are still pissed about it. People that aren't even Holly Holm fans. So she's looking to come back at 135 though, which is interesting. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. Anything else you want to touch on, or anything else there? Because, I mean, I'll just say Rampage mistakenly thought Bellator rematch with King Mo was a catch weight. Turns out it's a heavyweight fight.
Uh-oh.
Well, he's good there then. He's got nothing to cut.
Well, yeah. But I mean, when you know, when you are fucking getting ready for a fight and you didn't know that you were fighting at heavyweight, that's pretty shitty. Like, you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
That tells me a lot about your training.
Yeah.
True.
So that means I'm going with King Mo, which I'd never pick that guy in any.
I was picking King Mo to begin with. All right. And then there's Hoist Gracie is interested in the rematch with Matt Hughes. No. Fucking no.
No. Man.
God damn it. Who said ooh?
Terrible.
Who said?
I did, but that's terrible though. You know what I mean?
Oh, I thought you said
that's a bad ooh.
I thought you said I think you were doing like a good ooh. I was like, you're fired. Fuck that shit. Never again. No, but no, yeah, it's horrible. It's fucking, don't do that shit ever. I don't ever want to see that Matt Hughes or Hoist in the cage again. And then Conor McGregor's penalty reduced for UFC 202 bottle throwing incident. It went from 150K to like 25,000. I had to explain it to somebody that didn't understand it. And this is what I think on this. And you guys could throw in on this as our last topic here. Vegas had to knock that down, right? Or Nevada had to knock that down because Conor was super pissed after that, for getting fined after that, right? I mean, fucking, you're gonna find a bunch of money, and Conor just made your town a shitload of money just for fighting there. And then Conor was saying, "I'll never fight in Vegas again." Also, this shit. Now people were like, "Well, Vegas doesn't need him." It's like, no, but Vegas likes money a whole lot. So of course they're gonna bring in as many fucking big names as they can. So yeah, good move to fucking knock down the fine there on Mr. McGregor. That's a good idea, but it will not help past this boxing match because I think winner, especially if he wins. So I think win or lose, Conor McGregor is done after this fight. I don't think he fights again.
No, I agree. I said that the other day to a buddy of mine. If he win or lose, he's just gonna retire. He's gonna make a shitload of money off this fight, and he's gonna be done. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people that have that same opinion and that outlook on it because it could be the retirement plan where he's definitely going to cash in a fuck ton of money, definitely for sure.
I'm looking for the tears from Fred Kirby on that one. Anything?
I don't think you guys are right.
I hope you guys are wrong. That's what he meant.
No, I think he's going to fight again. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Win or lose, I think he'll fight in the UFC again. I think he'll defend one of his belts. I think he'll defend the lightweight belt. If indeed the Floyd fight does happen, he'll fight that fight, make a shitload of money, and then come back. He's rich now. Yeah. He don't need the Floyd fight, man. Like he could come back. He's getting paid regardless, dog.
Yeah, it's true.
He likes to compete.
Let's close it on that. I think as long as Dana's a part of the UFC, Conor's a part of the UFC. If we see Dana go, Conor, goes and does this Mayweather fight. That's where I see as Conor coming back at some point as long as Dana's there for sure. For huge fucking money too.
Now you mentioned that, I don't think Dana lasts that much longer with the UFC because he was doing that interview. I forgot who he was talking to, but he was doing that interview and I heard it was on YouTube and they only had a picture or a fucking thing of his face. So I don't know who he was talking to or whatever where the fucking interview was. But he was talking about how the UFC was more fun with the Fertitas than it is now. That to me was a huge ooh shit, Dana's almost done. You know what I mean? So who knows?
It's a different Dana, a whole different world. Ventured into the unknown in the whole grand scheme of things in the MMA world. So
I mean, it's bad. Sorry, it's bad when you got to rely on your fighters to call somebody out in order to do a matchmaking. Okay, Joe Silva didn't have a problem. Just saying. Anyway, all right, that's it now. Sorry.
That concludes everything here. Episode 35 in the books. I appreciate everybody that tuned in live. Thanks, Nick, for joining. Fred Kirby, Eddie Law, as always. I was your interim host this week, so we'll be back at you this weekend. There's no UFC, but we'll be back at you Sunday with the Verbal Scrap round 2, and I think we'll have Jesse Rubalcaba on there. Nick, if you're available, you can join up. Pay attention. It's a brand new show that we put on, taking place on Sundays. But we'll be back before you know it. Look out for the tweets. Shout out to Fightbook MMA, represent theadvocates.com. Hit that up. Get yourself some gear. I think the backpacks are already sold out. Those are sweet as shit. So if you got one. And with that, appreciate everybody coming on, everybody listening, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. And good night, Wilshire.
Good night.